Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Morgan Grice and I'm a freelance illustrator and bookbinder currently in the process of setting up my own stationery company called Odd Orange. I've been filming the entire process of setting up this company and posting it here to my YouTube channel, and this is episode 4 of the series, so if you haven't watched the previous episodes, go back and watch those and this will make a lot more sense. Today's episode is all about designing greetings cards as well as making all of the samples for the collection. I take you through my whole bookbinding process, give you a little insight into what goes into making books, as well as have a little show and tell at the end where I show all of the samples that I've made and talked about changes and things like that. So it's quite a fun episode, a lot of stuff going on, so if that's something that you're interested in, then keep watching. It's the 16th of July today and I've had quite a good week actually, mostly preparing to make my first round of samples. So the week started off with me mostly just finishing off the designs I showed you previously and digitizing them and getting some samples printed on a variety of papers and surfaces. I also ordered some more sketching paper and ribbons and all kinds of different things that I will need for my initial samples. I also started mocking up my card designs, which I'll show you in a minute as well as getting all the paper ready, deciding how many samples and what kind of samples I was going to make, and cutting down all the paper ready to be folded and made into signatures, which I'm going to be starting today. I'll just show you what I've done and take you along with me for the first stages of binding these samples. So this is all the paper that I've prepared and cut down. We have this paper, which is, I think it's the 190 GSM sketching paper, with the notebook paper, some dotted, some plain, and we have the 150 GSM sketching paper as well. I've written down how many samples I'm making, so I'm going to be making 2 hardback sketchbooks and 1 hardback notebook, 2 softcover sketchbooks, a softcover notebook, and then possibly a much smaller softcover sketchbook. And these are just all of my testing. I spent this morning preparing the dotted paper for the bullet journals, notebooks. It took me ages trying to get the perfect dot size, the spacing, colour. I think I've nailed it, but I'm not 100% sure yet because I haven't tested it. So I'm going to be using one of the notebooks and testing out the dots and seeing if I like them. I might make them a little bit lighter, we'll see. And I quite like the spacing, about 5mm apart. Obviously it's got border around it as well as in the gutter, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. If I like it, I might fiddle around with it a little bit more. In terms of the greetings cards that I've designed this week, I've just made a very rough start to it. So I wrote down greetings I wanted to include. I wanted to have quite general ones for this first launch, just to cover all my bases. So I've got like happy birthday, thank you, congratulations, things like that. And I was trying to match them all up with the designs that I thought would suit it best. And I think I've decided on it now. Here are some mock-ups we have just for you with the cobalt blue design. I was playing around with the layout and the placement of text. Obviously this type is going to change. This is just like the first mock-up. I want to really go through and pick a typeface that really matches the designs. But the idea is to have these intricate designs with quite simplistic greetings here in gold foil. So I'll probably be getting them printed, and then we'll stamp the words in with gold by myself using my hot foil press over there. So that's the idea. Kind of minimises costs as well, because having things hot foiled can be quite pricey. So I have those ones, the oranges, you're the zest. And then I have the same design, but I played around with the colours for the congratulations. You can't really see it. Obviously when it's gold foil it will shine, so it it should be noticeable. I might go for silver instead of a gold though for this one. But I really like the colours for this one. I have congrats on your new pad for the frogs, the emerald green. And a nice happy birthday for the shells. I quite like this design. I think it's quite elegant. Thanks a bunch, the mangoes. And lots of love with the florals. I've also put down what I want to include on the back. I've put a poll out on my Instagram today asking if people prefer cards that are blank inside or like cards with a little message, and the votes have been overwhelmingly blank inside. So I'm going to be leaving them blank so people can write their own messages. I'm probably going to spend the next week finalising these greetings card designs and getting them printed for samples. I'm going to film the rest of my day. I've only got a short day today because I'm going away this weekend. I'm going to film the next couple hours of me just folding paper and preparing sections ready for binding. It is Tuesday the 20th of July today. It's a really sunny, warm day, which is nice, a nice change. And I thought I would just update you on what I've done so far since the last update. Mostly I have been finalising the card designs, ready to get some samples made. I've done a bunch of prints, like sample prints just from my own printer to see how they look in like life size. I have a few changes to make, but overall I'm really happy with them. I've also started stitching the pages of the sample sketchbooks and notebooks together, so I'll show a little bit my process for that as well. But today's pretty much a chill day really. I'm going out for brunch with my friends in a bit, so work will be a little bit disjointed, but I'm probably going to work into the night to make up for it. But yeah, I'll just crack on and show you what I've done this week. So these are all the card designs laid out. I think they look really cool together. I've just done a really quick and easy print from my home printer, just on normal like print paper. And obviously all this writing is going to be in hot foil pressed into the card. But I thought I would just print it as it is now so I can see how it looks. But they have back to it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the orange logo. I'm not sure if I prefer it like this or like that. I don't know yet. But I'm quite happy with how that's come out. I'm just going to get finalised designs. There's a few things I want to change, and I'm going to get some samples made from a few different printers to see what I prefer. I've also started stitching the sample books, so I've done this one. So that one's all done. And I'll just film a little bit of my process. This is going to be the single stitched book, single section, and then I have all of these with some of the end papers as well. Thursday the 29th of July today, and I'm coming back with another update. This one is about samples, which is really exciting. I finished all of the samples this week. I'm going to go through them and talk to you about them, talk about what I'm going to be keeping, what I'm going to be changing, stuff like that. In terms of my timeline, my action plan, I don't know if you saw the video of me showing you my action plan and what I have planned for the next few months. I'm on track, I think. I hope to have finished these samples before the end of next month, so that's ahead. But I was hoping to have all the designs and the designing processes finished by the end of this month, which is this week. And I'm a little bit behind with that. I've just started the designs for the little info cards that you get with the books talking about the colour. So I need to design that, and I also need to design the packaging for all the products. But I've designed all the products and all the other things that needed designing. So hopefully if I can finish everything else by the end of next week, I should be on track, hopefully. But yeah, enough rambling, I'll talk to you about samples. First of all, the cards. I ordered in some card samples. I've got to show you them now. I've got this one, the Indian yellow. It says thanks a bunch. And it's got the logo and information on the back. This is A6, but I'm planning on making the finished greetings cards A5, so twice the size of this. I also have this one, congrats on your new pad. The congratulations card, which is one of my favourites. And the happy birthday. I can only get samples in these 4 designs. And I tested out 2 different papers, both 100% recycled paper, but I tried out a plain white one, which I thought I'd end up going with, but I also tried out this like specialty paper, which I really like, and I'm going to end up going with this. I'm really happy with it. It's like a slightly off-white paper with bright white flecks in it. I don't know if you can see. Can you see like the bright white flecks? You can't really see it on the design, which I like. It's just on the white, plain areas. And it just feels really nice. It looks really cool and interesting. And I just prefer the finish of it to the plain white ones. So I'm going to go with this paper stock. I'm really excited about it. I just think it's so cool. I also got some envelope samples. Here's 3 of them. I got like 4 other colours as well. But these 3 are the ones that go with all of the cards I have, because I don't want to buy loads of different colours because that would just cost me loads of money. For example, this is a combination that I like. I think that looks really nice. I think this one also looks really nice with this envelope. And another combination that I really like is that one. So yeah, those are the greetings cards that I designed, and now I'll show you the books that I made. So I showed a little bit my process of making some of these, so you should kind of have an idea of how I made them. I forgot to share everything, but I got the general gist. So this is one of the sketchbooks that I'm planning on selling. They'll be on the cheaper end of the scale just because they use less materials, they take less time to make. So it means that I'm able to offer books at all price ranges. Here it has the design, the Indian yellow design. It's got book cloth along the spine in the colour Indian yellow, and the stitching is in the exact same colour as well. So I love a bit of consistency. And what makes these unique is this cloth spine. Not a lot of these simple paperback notebooks have cloth spine like this, and it just adds this really luxurious texture to the book, as well as giving it extra protection on the spine. And it's got Indian yellow and papers, just a sheet like that. But I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that I'm considering having my paperback covers printed double-sided, so it would have this print and then it would be printed yellow on the back, so you open it up and it'd be like that instead of like that. I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to do a couple more tests and see how that is. But yeah, it's got a nice amount of pages, not too many, not too little, so it's good for smaller art projects, smaller writing projects, things like that. You can just take it, put it in your pocket or your bag and take it anywhere, which is what I really like about these. They're a lot more flexible for everyday life. But yeah, the other paperbacks are a little bit more complex. This is a notebook, so the paperbacks all have my designs as the covers, and these ones have multiple sections, so it's like basically like a hardback book. It's bound very similar to a hardback book, but just the paper cover. So I don't know if you can see that, but all the pages are hand stitched together, which means that they will lie flat, and they're very, very durable. I've lined the spine and everything, so it's really strong and can take a lot of use. But because the covers are glued along like this joint here and not glued on the spine, it means that they open completely flat, which is great when you want to work across the page. It's got a slight texture, it feels so nice. I don't know if you can see the texture, maybe if I open it up a bit. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if that's visible, but it's like a really textured paper, but it feels really, really nice and has a lot of flexibility to it, as you can see. It's very floppy. I love a floppy book. And same with this, I had the end papers stitched on like that. I'm thinking of, again, printing it double-sided, so yeah, I've got this white bit and I won't be able to see the stitch marks either. So we'll see. I tried gold foiling my logo into the backs of these, but as you can see, the gold adhered to the pink, but it didn't adhere to this part where the darker ink is. I'm not quite sure why. So I'm going to do a few more tests. I'm going to email the printing company as well as the heat press company to hopefully get some answers. But yeah, this is the notebook version. It has the dotted paper, as you can see. I also do plain versions of the notebook. This one's half-half just because it was a test. And then this is the plain. And the paper is so nice in this. I love it. I'm really excited about it. I have the same one, but with sketchbook version. This is 150 GSM paper. And it just, yeah, it's great. It's a great paperweight for these paperback books. I tested out this one with the 190 GSM. It's a lot stiffer. It doesn't open as nicely. I'm going to be testing all these out, but I might just offer the paperbacks in the 150 GSM paper. It does open flat, to be fair. So yeah, nice. And it's just yeah, I'm not sure how this paperback binding will take the thicker paper. We'll see. I'll put it through its paces and see how it performs. And finally, I'll show you the hardbacks, which I'm the most excited about. I've done 3 samples, 2 are the lilac ones and 1 is the emerald green. So we have this one, I don't know if you can see that, and it has the olive green, green gold cloth along the foredge like that. This one has a matching lilac ribbon. I made another one with a contrast dark green ribbon, but I do think I prefer the matching one. And the end bands also match the covering material. And it has my logo embossed, which I'm obsessed with. I love embossing them, it was so much fun. And then of course inside it has the patterned end papers, which I'm so happy with. This one, I think this particular book is so beautiful. This is the 190 GSM paper, so yeah, this paper works so nicely with this. And this one, of course this opens flat as well because it's not glued at the spine, but I won't be breaking this in because I'm going to be sending it off to an artist. I'm going to send a couple of these samples off to some artists just so they can test them out and give me their feedback, because even though I'm an artist myself and I test these out on a regular basis and I love them, I want to get other artists' opinions that work slightly differently to me, just to see if there's anything that I should change or if there's anything that they particularly like. And we have this emerald green one. This one does have a contrasting ribbon, but I think I'm going to end up going with a dark green matching ribbon. It's got the teal foredge, the matching end bands, and the end papers for this one is a little froggy design. I think it looks so nice like that. And this one is the 150 GSM paper, which again is lovely, as you can see. And of course, the embossing. So yeah, those are all the samples. I've also designed some sticker sheets and art prints and things like that. So I'll also go through my sketchbook and show you those. But yeah, all I've got to do now before I go into production is finalise the designs. I need to send some samples off to other artists like I mentioned, and yeah, get my materials and go straight into production, which is really exciting. So it's going to be busy next few months, and then it'll be even busier when I prepare for the launch. So it's all coming around, which is really great, to be honest, because I've been working on this for so long, since November last year, and it's now July. So to finally have the actual books in front of me and to see how they're gonna look like is really, really exciting. And it's so nice to see something you've been working on for so long come into fruition. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed looking at the samples, and I will go through my sketchbook now.